Great. So again, welcome to Movierama Part II. Been scanning videos, movies like crazy, and we're gonna have a bunch from a variety of subjects this week, and it's kind of fun. The mail lady keeps showing up with boxes of stuff, and you keep going, oh, that's really neat. So the trouble is, the time it takes to scan them and correct them. So like in prior weeks, you're gonna see little borders around them, and I haven't done all the final sharpening and color adjustments and everything. But let me go back here. I have a window open, and I'm actually going to start with a let's see, do I have the right window? Yes. Okay. I'm going to start with a video, and I have to remember to optimize for sound. So let me just start the video here real quick, and then I'll get the screen shared. Okay, so let's go back here. Somebody 2 years ago on Facebook posted a thing. They were looking for a segment of 2020, the ABC News magazine.
Mm-hmm.
They remembered from the park for showing after what happens when everybody goes home at Disneyland. And he posted it and said, and he remembered it really well because we were in touch yesterday. But he had worked on it. They had a intern program. He'd worked as an intern at Disney World and custodial, which is a great thing for Disney. You get all these people to work for free cleaning up your park. But he had posted it 2 years ago that, does anybody have it? And I said, oh yeah, I think I got a copy of that. Pulled it out and promptly misplaced it. So about 2 weeks ago, I was cleaning up my office and said, oh, there's the tape. And for people that remember these things, let's see, Betamax tapes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a ton of Betamaxes, and we're going to see this one here in a second. So let me share the screen here.
Bill, how do you transfer that?
Off a Betamax. I love
You still have a Betamax player.
I still have a Beta, I still have VHS, and I still have a laser disc.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I've got a VHS somewhere in this house. I wonder if it still works.
You
Yeah.
have cassette tape doing 8-tracks and cassettes.
I never had 8-track, but I have cassette and I have reel-to-reel.
Oh.
Bill, do you ever have any issues
A lot of stuff
with the tapes jamming?
Not too often. It's really amazing. Like this tape we're going to see is 40 years old, and it's obviously not high def. Although I'm not going to show the version today. I actually took it, upscaled it to 4K, 2K, doubled the frame rate and everything, and it came out really nice. It's a huge file, but some videos look just like you shot them yesterday. Again, standard definition. The resolution of 40 years ago. Others, like at the very beginning, there's a little bit of tracking issues, but some of them have held up.
Yes.
Beta tapes, frankly, held up a lot better than the VHS tapes do.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
And I still have a
They have better quality.
Yeah, I still have a whole bunch of 8mm, high 8, and digital 8 that I have to transfer off. Those are mostly home movies. So let me share this here, and we're gonna go way back to December 4th, I think, 1984.
Good evening, I'm Hugh Downs, and this is 2020.
On the ABC News Magazine, 2020, with Hugh Downs and Barbara Walters.
And the magic and mystery of Disneyland, an enchanting land of make-believe for children of all ages. But at the stroke of midnight, what happens is another kind of magic. Tonight, Bob Brown visits the wizards who work wonders in a very special journey when it's midnight in the Magic Kingdom. Do you believe in Mickey Mouse? Santa Claus says he does. And if you're one of the 240 million people who have visited Disneyland, then you're probably a believer too. A believer that even in our busy lives, there's always room for fantasy. Next year is going to mark the 30th anniversary of Disneyland. And Bob Brown recently visited the Magic Kingdom at a very odd hour. He had the whole place to himself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Disneyland has now ended its normal operating day. We hope you've enjoyed your visit to our Magic Kingdom and that you'll be back with us again soon. Good night.
This story begins at the end of the day.
when Mickey Mouse is through with work and the world's best-known silhouette quietly disappears from Disneyland. Then, a cast you will never see takes over in the darkness. It's like the spell in Cinderella, who has only until midnight to dance with a prince and say her goodbyes before the magic disintegrates.
It's midnight.
At Disneyland, midnight will also bring a startling transformation.
Oh, no, wait.
Instead of Disney's familiar characters, these men are now roaming the 76-acre park a few steps from the area known as Tomorrowland, adding an ominous look to the streets. Except for the lights that still twinkle in the background, they are engulfed in clouds in this now deserted park because they're doing more than just sweeping the streets. They are steam cleaning them, blasting away even the last stubborn bits of the day's chewing gum as the overnight work begins. A few more minutes past the stroke of midnight, you may find Jerry Harper making his way through a strange maze of ice-blue tunnels and passages inside what by day is one of the park's most popular attractions, the Matterhorn, a 10-story high replica of the 14,000-foot mountain in the Alps. You ride inside this Matterhorn's caves on roller coaster tracks. Harper inspects them each night, inch by inch, for safety. There are also 175 brakes to check.
We don't get to see the public as much working graveyard, but on Friday nights and Saturday nights when the park is open, and we can see the guests as they're getting in the sleds and stuff, and they're happy. You know, they see that smile on their face when we're here. You don't find that kind of atmosphere often in all jobs, you know. This is Disneyland.
Harper is a former longshoreman who says he never went to a Disney film when he was growing up. But even he seems involved in more than just the mechanics of the graveyard shift, in the feeling that you are sometimes crossing the plane between reality and imagination.
Yo-ho, a pirate's life for me.
This was the next stop on our tour. It's 2 a.m. and in a Caribbean village that spectators will move through by boat during the day, a village taken over by pirates, there are now sights that look as much as if they came from a Hitchcock film as from Disney.
Pirate's life for me.
This night is not very short.
John Kerry, Chuck Lawson, and Fred Starr are performing a kind of surgery on one of the pirates who, like all the others in this village, is really an audio animatronic figure. With oil and air pumped through them, these figures can simulate remarkably lifelike movements that are synchronized to a pre-recorded soundtrack.
Well, there's the feedback from the mouth.
But they're tricky to fix. The ride won't open the next day if even one of the characters isn't working right. And there's another kind of pressure in this pirate village at 2 in the morning.
We've had people who think it's great fun to walk up behind you while you're working. Hi, how you doing? By this time, you're peeling yourself off the ceiling.
In the meantime, the wardrobe department is also flying around the park. These costumers work to repair embarrassments such as underarm oil leaks. More than 60% of the wardrobes in use at Disneyland are for audio animatronic actors, not for human beings. When you surface again, now halfway through the overnight shift, in the turn-of-the-century Main Street section of the park, you are reminded that all this is happening because of Walt Disney's obsession with planning and detail, and the way he applied it to creating settings that would make you feel almost as if you were walking into a frame of one of his films. That's why Disneyland was unique from the beginning. By this time of the morning, the cleaners have left the streets so pristine that it seems, as it will seem to thousands of visitors later, as if no one before you had ever walked on them. Then comes Jeff Willis. He is one of 48 full-time electricians at the park. The people who count things tell us there are 11,000 rim lights outlining the buildings on Main Street alone. Workers try to replace each light before it burns out. So it may be the Magic Kingdom by day, but that is largely because someone remembered to keep track of when the bulbs were last changed. The park's maintenance budget is $30 million a year to cover the smallest details as well as the largest.
My biggest problem here is trying to keep the sleigh bells from bumping into each other.
Just before the Christmas season began, one of the most intriguing of all the overnight jobs was being performed in a section of the park known as Bear Country. Here, you could find Mike Sprout or Dave Fighton staring after a 16-hour shift at 4 a.m. into the limpid eyes of audio animatronic bears that were acting out a Christmas program Dave and Mike designed and wrote and produced. But the bears had to be programmed. You push a button, you move an elbow or an eye.
Do these machines become real to you? It's real eerie when you start dreaming about them. I don't dream as bad as Mike does. He sees bears in his sleep all the time, it seems.
Did you dream of bears, or these are chasing you?
Oh, they've chased me at various times, yeah, with all sorts of instruments and things. And it's hard to leave them when you go to sleep if you've been with them for 16 or 18 hours straight. They become more real than they should, I think.
Do you speak to them, or?
I try not to, especially when people are around. I think it looks good.
It's getting there. They're looking alive. We'll have them walking off stage pretty soon here.
Each split-second movement in this 15-minute show had to be programmed to the soundtrack, movement by movement, bear by bear. And it has taken 6 weeks just to animate that quarter hour. The planning took a year. By dawn, when the rest of the civilized world is waking up to early traffic reports,
oh my hero biscuits! I'm late, I'm late, I'm late!
the rush hour here is geared towards making a 10 a.m. deadline for a party of, say, 10,000.
What could a rabbit possibly be late for? Sir, wait! I'm late. My, what a peculiar place to have a party.
And if there is difficulty separating what's real from what isn't when the park opens at 10 a.m., it's more than just the presence of a holiday frame of mind. In all, there were 275 workers on the graveyard shift whose job was to disappear and leave the illusions behind.
What a great job they do. It's true, you always do feel at Disneyland that you're the first one to step foot.
That's right. You know, there are a lot of theories about what people are seeking in entertainment, but Walt Disney believed that one of the main things they were looking for was reassurance.
Ah.
And in a world where you're constantly being reminded that you can't go home again, it's very reassuring to have a place that you can go where you're 30 that looks the same as it did when you were 5.
And if we want to drive people crazy, especially the older ones, should we ask them right now if they can name all 7 dwarfs?
No, don't do that to me. I can never get more than 6.
Happy holidays to you.
Merry Christmas.
Tomorrow on Good Morning America, Sally Burton talks about her late husband, Richard Burton. Senator Howard Baker tells why he's retiring from the Senate, plus Goldie Hawn on Good Morning America. And tomorrow night at 9, 8 Central, Mac and Andy must solve the mystery of a beautiful model and her secret deadly admirer on Hawaiian Heat. Then Houston suspects a black market for babies when infants start disappearing without a clue on Matt Houston.
Well,
Funny seeing Barbara Waters that young.
yeah,
What year was that movie?
1984.
That was good. I
Oh.
enjoyed it. So remind me again why they
Wow.
took out Country Bear.
There was it was the accountants. You had two theaters at Disneyland for the Country Bears, in which when they did it originally, you had in Florida you had one show, but out here we had two, and they did a whole analysis of how many people went per hour. It was stuck back in the corner of the park, so they had a very low utilization rate of the Country Bears, and it was expensive to maintain because, as you saw, how many guys have to fix the bears and do all that stuff. So some accountants decided that it'd be cheaper to put something else in, and they took out the bears. And I hate the Winnie the Pooh ride. I just, maybe by itself it's an okay ride, but when I saw this and I saw Bunny, Bubbles, and Beulah, the three bears. And I mean, I love that Christmas show that overlay they did on it.
Yeah.
And I just saw it and go, oh God damn, I missed that. But it was just
yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it. Gee, I'd really like to see that again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember those guys, how young they look?
Yeah. I was going to say the other aspect of it was because that end of the park didn't really have a weenie, if you know the term, Bill. They were looking for something there, and so the log flume ride was the idea to pull that in. It's just too bad they couldn't have kept one theater and put a log flume in, but they decided no, it was going to they needed much more room for the log flume to pull people over to that side of the park.
Yeah, well, the log flume, I mean, it's on a totally separate footprint than the Bear Band Theater.
Well, it is, but it was part of that whole renovation of that area to try to bring guests over there. There was nothing to go over there for except Country Bear, and when it had its main run and slowed down, they should have just anticipated, someday it's going to slow down. You don't need two theaters, and it might have stayed.
Yeah.
Of course, nowadays you walk that way to get over to Star World.
That would have helped it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Bears were great. And that console that you saw, they put it out there in the middle of the theater, was a temporary thing, but that gave them all the viewpoint of what was going on and being seen and everything. I saw at the beginning of the chat, who's there, Darren's there, he asked about the cats. For people that don't know it, there's a whole army of cats, sort of like the one behind Don, that wander around.
Bobcats, huh?
Yeah, that's why you don't see much trouble there. But during the day, you don't see them. And somehow these cats are really smart. On a Monday or Tuesday when the park was closed, they would know, and they'd wander out of the park in the middle of the day, and you could feed them and that sort of thing. And they love to be petted, but they keep the mice population down. So there's part of contingent. And every now and then, I can remember we were there with the kids more than a couple of years ago now. But one of the cats came wandering out into bear country. We were up at the Hungry Bear restaurant, and all of a sudden the cat came out. And you think nobody had ever seen a cat before. I mean, people just running over to see the cat, It's
well, some of these cats now have got a reputation of their own. I think it's on YouTube. There's a video you can find about the cats at Disneyland. It's very interesting to watch because it is something they maintain. They've actually built homes for them to live in.
Yeah.
They do spay and neuter, but other cats wander in. And so when they have kittens, the kittens are given away or sold. I think they're given away, but you have to be an employee to get one of the cats. You can't be the general public. It's the only way you can get it. So it's an interesting story. So if you've never seen it, it's fun to watch.
Yeah. But anyway, for any of us that worked at the park, I thought it might be a trip. Carolyn Scott, is that a cat? she got it at Disneyland.
Yeah, she doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. She hasn't heard about Disneyland yet.
So anyway, the video obviously has a few few quirks or whatever to it. Some of them hold up better than others, but again, when you tape these things, you don't think 40 years later, wow, I mean that's a long time. So. But let me see what else we have here. We have all sorts of different things, and I'm going to put on the.
It was also interesting at the end, some of those shows they mentioned that were going to be on ABC. I can't even remember those shows.
Matt Houston and some of these others.
They didn't. I vaguely remember the name, but I don't think they lasted at all.
Some of them lasted longer than others. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, hang on here. Speaking of Disneyland, let me. I've got to wake up this drive 1 second. Okay, so let's see. All right, I'm gonna start. Let me cue this up here 1 second. Okay, I'm getting it here. 1 second. Oh, this. Speaking of cats. Okay, come here. All right, we're gonna go way back here to 1966. Let me go back to share screen. Too many windows open. Okay, zoom, share screen. And I do not need sound anymore, so I can turn that off. But we are going to be looking here at Carol's Home Movies from Disneyland 1966. So there's Carol's dad, and it's Christmas time. I don't know if Carol shows up in this film. I have to see if she. I think there's maybe one quick shot of her and her brother.
It's definitely my father twirling his chains.
Metal chain, yeah. Yeah, Carol's brother gave us this whole box of family movies, and I've been scanning away and spotting all sorts of different places and things they did. The Main Street Flower Mart.
Hey, Roger Duck.
In Trinidad, the guy had the job of cleaning up after the horses. No mermaids working that day.
That the submarine ride pool?
Yes, that's right. There's Speak of the Devil.
Yeah.
Brown Skyway buckets.
Everybody on a speed ramp.
Yep. Up to the monorail station. Then it gets very light exposed there. So anyway, I just thought it was fun. I've got a box of maybe 50 films I have to scan from her family, and to reach in, and the third one I picked, we don't need that. The third one I picked was no less than good old Disneyland. So I got a kick out of that. So let's go back here, and we have some other odds and ends coming up. So let's see. Expo 67. I don't think I've shown this one. Just checking my little list here. Okay, nope, didn't show this one yet. This one is kind of interesting. It starts off with a preview. Let me start it off here. So this family, I'll get up to. Okay, yep, they're staying at a motel. And it comes across a preview of Expo 67. So the Trans-Canada Bar and Motel, I have to look and see that's still around. But I've never seen this before. It's a tractor trailer and a big inflatable dome, and they were giving previews of Expo 67. And during this time, Expo was actually open. So, I'm not quite sure what they were, where this was or why they were doing it. But first I've seen in any of the many pictures I have of Expo. So they take the preview, and then we're going to get, there's a clown walking by, and then we're going to go see some of Montreal. And for anybody that knows Montreal, we can see how vintage it is and how many things have changed. I would have loved to have known more about this. So one more rabbit hole I have to go down and try to find out what was going on there. So we are in Montreal, and wow, the trash cans are interesting here.
There goes a bug.
The fellow that took this was evidently quite enthralled by the multilingual traffic signs, because we're going to get a bunch of those. The brand new metro system, the subway. So it looks like a nice summer day.
There's a Ford Thunderbird in the background there.
Wonder why they built the Metro to run on rubber tires rather than tracks.
Oh, it's a lot better. It's so much quieter. I mean, yeah, I just love the Metro compared to the New York City subway.
Most anything's better than New York City subway.
Oh yeah, that's so damn true.
Well, cleaner anyway.
I'm gonna get you where you want to go.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Well, remember, it's 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know they haven't done much maintenance lately. The sign there with the two flags, they put up those Expo logo signs all throughout Montreal for the year. They show up every now and then on eBay and stuff, and people pay good money for them. These buses look so ancient to me compared to, you know, what we have today. But fear not, we will get to we will get to Expo.
He's sneaking up on a bird.
Yep, trying to catch a pigeon. I love this clock here.
Kind of reminds me of Small World.
Yeah. Like I said, lots of multimedia road signs or multilingual. 40 cents an hour. Are they kidding me?
Wow, 40 cents an hour.
Wouldn't that be about $4 an hour?
Probably today, yeah. Which was still
Hear about
probably
that
a
new
bargain.
parking violation device called a barnacle they put in your car?
Yeah.
What is that?
They put a barnacle in your car. It's a giant suction cup. It covers your front windshield so you can't drive.
Oh,
And you pay $475 to have it removed. And then you get $300 back when you return the barnacle to the barnacle drop-off box.
Yeah, people found a way to hack those because there's an RFID.
And they stick their head out the window and drive that way.
Yeah. So here we are at Expo. We're going to go in. There's the Expo Theater. The Four Seasons are playing. So they had some high, you know, good name entertainment. You know, again, 67, they were right up there at the top of their game. There's one of these 7-Up strollers.
I saw Frankie Valli in Four Seasons about 4 months ago.
Oh, wow.
He's doing his farewell tour.
Uh-huh.
Still hits the high notes. I was impressed.
And they're all still alive.
Well, no, only Frankie Valli. The other seasons have been come and gone. As seasons will do.
That's Switzerland over to the left. You can see the tower spinning with the wind there. Couple official cars parked on the grounds. And the mini rail.
That mini rail just closed completely. It was that yellow canopy one ran in LaRon till just recently. They tore it down.
Yes, I saw the pictures of it. Sad.
That's a pity.
Yeah.
Took down
when was that? A few years ago, or? When was that? A few years ago?
Oh no, I think within the last year, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have gone and seen it if I'd known it was still there.
Yeah.
It
started in Switzerland. It was built for the Swiss National Exhibition.
Yep. Yeah, 2 years ago they took down the log flume ride, and then this year they also just now took down the spiral observation tower.
Right, which also came from Switzerland.
Right. So here's Expo Express Habitat.
That's interesting.
It's a crazy, crazy looking spot, but it's become very high-end premium housing.
Yeah, people are still living in there today.
Yeah, no, you're looking at close to $1 million to get an apartment there.
Ought to be a lot of small rooms though.
Some of them are pretty good size because you could get a 1 cube, 2 cube, or 3 cube configuration. So some of them are 1 story, some of them actually have 2 stories because you go from 1 cube here, you go up the stairs to your upper cube.
Haven't some people actually bought like 2 units and
Combine them, yes.
combined them? Yeah.
Yeah.
They
But
were
there's
the
some-
smart ones.
That construction concept never took off. They never built another one anywhere else.
No.
You know, they after they finished it, they said they would have had to sell them for an average of $104,000 a unit, which back in
What year?
1967 was a ton of money.
But it's basically the same construction technique that they used for the Disneyland Contemporary Resort and Polynesian Resort hotels. Prefab, put them together. So I've always wondered how much the Disney engineers got the idea from Habitat. So we're riding on the train now. We're gonna get some nice views of Laurent.
I always wondered on the Habitat how the elevator went up through that thing.
There's, I think, 4 sets of elevators, and for a while they only stopped on like even number floors, and you were supposed to walk down the stairs or up the stairs to the others to try to get people to mingle. But I understand they stop on all the floors now.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been very convenient.
Yeah,
No.
ADA requirements wouldn't been met that other way.
Those would be the CDA requirements.
Well, yes, okay.
Here's the log flume ride. There's actually people in Habitat that pride themselves that they have not remodeled their units and still have the original kitchen and the original appliance. And since everything had to be in a certain space and everything, you can imagine if your dishwasher wears out, it can become quite a job to get it rebuilt or get another one that fits in there.
You notice how much more casual people are dressed here as opposed to New York World's Fair?
Yep, everything changed so much in just that short period of time.
Just 2 years later, look at that.
Yeah.
And there's a distinct lack of nuns too.
Oh, they'll show up in 1 or 2 of these shots.
Oh, there are a lot of them at Expo 67.
Yeah.
And what attracted so many nuns to the fairs?
They had the summer.
Brussels even more. There's, I think I've mentioned a couple meetings ago that recently found this thing on Facebook about Brussels World's Fair in '58. And I mean, it's hard to find a frame without a nun in it.
They must have had a lot of days off.
Yeah, had the whole summer off. School was closed.
Yeah.
Can't have a World's Fair without a Ferris wheel, right?
Why they had a lot of sky ride.
Yeah.
These are private films, right, Bill?
Yes, right.
They're kind of interesting. The cropping and the angles and all that.
Yeah, the guy did a nice job on most of these. The same family went to 64 Fair, and then we'll see the coming up 20th century visit to 20th Century Fox Studios. So off we go. We got an elephant ride. And for Skyway fans, here we go.
Interesting how narrow the cars are.
Yeah,
they're long and narrow.
Yeah, and they're glassed in. I wonder if they were air conditioned.
Good question.
There's a window down on that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see that.
They saw the carousel that had come from 64 fair. And then we get Gyrotron, to me, the big disappointment of Expo. I mean, it just looks so cool. So you went in there and the chair turned around. When you come back out, you can see they're facing in a different direction. But you know, it was so just writing that this was going to be so cool, but it wasn't. Yep, there we go. We turn around.
I remember some of the articles that mentioned it, you know, when Expo was opening, they must have written it from press releases. It sounded like the best thing ever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you wonder how many of these travel logs or things that people were printing, they had actually been there.
Right.
I don't remember. I just remember being impressed with the ride system. Not a lot happened, but the
No.
ride system was damn cool.
Oh yeah, now look at it now and just think, oh, like, oh, what a giant omni mover.
Yeah.
Oh, all of a sudden I want fondue tonight.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Carol better get that cheese melting.
Now we're back over at the main site. There's France. He's had a tough day.
I wonder if this guy was a Kodak employee, because he's definitely not scrimping on the film.
No, good point. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of 1 second shots.
Yeah. And he's not panning at the speed of light.
Yeah, whip pan. Yeah, some people, they move the camera around. It looks like the transition scenes on The Man from U.N.C.L.E. You know, those whip pans they did in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., somebody got the film footage, slowed it down. They were actually able to figure out what old MGM film they'd used to, speed up and do that. Things that people back in 64 or whatever never ever dreamed people would be doing that stuff today. Those are the Canada pavilions. Oh, so that op art stage area there.
And there's Jamaica at the top that they just rebuilt.
Yeah, that's amazing. It's still there. The other mini rail.
Yeah.
We have to see the backside of water.
The U.S. pavilion. This is right outside the metro station.
Pretty good crowds that day.
Yeah, luckily it was a big enough site that even though they had good sized crowds, it never really had the feeling of claustrophobia of being super congested. Cosmos Walk. That looks pretty crowded there.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
sure does.
Yeah, we got a bit of a bottleneck on the bridge there.
Probably everybody wants to look at the hovercraft go by. The Arrow pavilions. believe that's a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like I said, I haven't edited stuff out on these yet.
Please keep your hands and legs inside the vehicle at all times.
Yeah, I was thinking that when I saw the shot of the guy standing up there. Quite a line there for people going to the kaleidoscope.
That was a pretty building.
It was. And it was much better in this iteration than when they repainted it a few years later. Just blue and white stripes. It didn't look the same. Then they put it back to the original.
This is a busy day because you see lines like from Mexico, which you don't normally see big lines like this.
No.
Now, Bill, that big thing hanging down from the dirt on the thing, would that one be pretty easy to program that out of there because it stays in the same position like that?
If I had $10,000 as a piece of software that would take that out very
okay.
easily. If people
All
would
right.
contribute to the fund, I will be glad to again take it out. I could also take every individual frame of this and you know, because what the scanner does, it takes a zillion still frames, combines it into a movie. I've tried doing a thing where I could put each of these into a still frame, run it through a giant macro in Photoshop, and then have Photoshop use its automatic cloning thing to take it out. But I found out that takes absolutely forever and ever and ever, and it's also pretty intensive. Open the file, clean the file, write the file, open the file, write the file. You know, it just took forever. So I decided I will live with the hair in the gate.
Yeah.
But as I said, for $10,000, I'll be glad to do it, and I'll even drive a copy to your house, Brock, and drop it off. Hey, there's none. Just on none. But you know,
As long as you edit the nuns out first.
Oh, okay. I can do that. Well, let's go back to the nun for a second, because again, people mentioned earlier how casual everybody looks. At this point, the Vatican had changed things, and the nuns were now able to go casual. So we'll see her come back in a second. Yeah, the hair in the gate, that sort of thing's frustrating. I mean, you think this guy did all these great shots and everything. You know, it wouldn't have been that much trouble to actually clean your camera, you know, before you put you know, the next roll of film in. I've got some of these that you know, there's so much crud up there, it's just astonishing. Went back
There's
for,
a lot of things in there.
okay, we'll see the nun any second now. There she is. So look how much more casual they're allowed to be in 1967.
You know, my aunt was a nun. I don't recall what order she was with, but she was one of the more liberal orders. By 1967, she was just wearing very conservative dresses. You know, no, well, I think she had headgear, but it was very minimal.
Yeah, we had
less than what she's got on.
We had a relative, same situation, Randy, and remember they had a convent over in Garden City, New York, and we went over there because the nuns of the Catholic school I went to were just, oh my God, you know, Satan's angels or something. But you know, we went over there, and this woman was actually very nice and pleasant, and it was like, you know, I can remember her saying, "Is she really a nun?"
I think that lady has one of those plastic Diana cameras on her, around her neck.
Diana camera?
I think that's what it's called, yeah. They're classic, so they still make them.
Mm-hmm. I've not seen any of these strollers show up anywhere.
7-Up strollers.
Yep.
That's the Jamaica that was just rebuilt.
Yeah, maybe that's a good omen that they'll redo Korea.
Yeah. Well, they're able to rent out the Jamaica building for like wedding receptions and that kind of stuff.
Right. It's just such an unlikely one, the one to have survived, considering all the ones that are there and gone.
Yeah. Look how nicely Mom is dressed.
I was thinking that she dressed up real well for the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, unlike New York, we're not seeing any men in suits or.
It's a strange angle.
Yeah.
Maybe he was in the ride control systems too.
The Grand Pavilion was so beautiful.
Yeah, the grounds, everything, they really did a nice job, with all the flowers and everything else. I thought they really, even the sculptures and everything across the ground, I think it really set it apart from New York for me.
I think this film might be this part of the film may be the second day there because the mother was wearing a different dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Either that or she's one of those people that changes wardrobes 3 times a day.
All right, I'm gonna stop here because it goes to night and the scanner is having a little trouble. So let's see, 22 minutes. I'll get the other one here, which this one I had not. This is without the colors adjusted. You can see it's the same film we just saw. But let me bring it up here to the night shots. This was without the attempt to color correct it, which I will do later in the computer in the editing program. But lots and lots and lots of street lights.
Well, that was the underside of the entrance of the USSR pavilion.
Yep.
Yeah. So when you work on this, will you see more detail?
Yes, I will. Yeah. Although I'll be, totally honest, you don't get, the old saying about make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. You can only do so much. I mean, the film back at that time was, not particularly light sensitive. So there's so much, you can pull out some stuff, but you can't necessarily pull out a lot. So I don't remember this having a lot of wonderful night views.
Around.
Yep. And then fireworks or fireworks or fireworks. So let me get something else here. So let's see. So Cal, let's give this one a try. Okay, so we are going to take a tour here of 20th Century Fox Studios. Back in the day when Universal was giving tours, well, first we're starting at LAX. The family's just flown in. Back at this point in time, Universal gave tours of the lot on trams, and 20th Century Fox had a whole different thing, a walking tour. So if anybody remembers the show Peyton Place, we're now on the back lot of 20th Century Fox, and this is the village here, all decorated for winter.
Yeah, during the pandemic, I watched all 511 episodes of Peyton Place.
Oh, did you really? Wow.
We weren't allowed to watch it as a kid. It was too adult.
Uh-huh, yeah. Well, here they also, these are the Hello Dolly sets. And when I first went to Fox, I'm trying to remember what year it was, that a lot of this Hello Dolly sets and the train tracks and everything were still standing. And it was just really, really cool, I mean, the movie's so-so, but to be able to walk on the streets and everything, that was a real kick.
the movie is worth seeing for the sets,
Yeah,
you know, and costumes and all that.
yeah.
But yeah, the movie is, like you said, I think so.
Yeah, so here again, you can see the facade, the whole giant building here with just framework on the back, and here's the train tracks. And they had working trains, you know, fake trains, but they moved down the tracks, you know, in the film.
I was reading, they re-released the film a couple of years ago, like for one of those 1 or 2 day releases. And I was reading at that time that they had to reroute everything in and out of LAX when they were filming that big parade scene on that street set, because obviously they couldn't have jet planes flying overhead.
Right. So good luck getting that cooperation today, huh?
Yeah.
Hi there, we see you. Some of these buildings I still recognize from being at Fox, like that one there, one of the producer buildings. Probably a brand new VW bus, huh?
There's a Mustang.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
nice.
pretty.
Nice red, pretty.
Like I said, at Fox, you took a walking tour around. And you got more hair in the gate.
Wonder what those pillars were from.
Yeah, that's just say if anybody recognizes some of these, please let me know. And just like Universal, they had a Western show.
Was that the Munster House?
No, that's
2
on the
seconds.
Universal lot.
Oh, okay.
So we're still at 20th Century Fox here.
And everyone has a Western show.
Yep. How was your day at the office, dear?
I only got beaten up 20 times.
This is actually a training session of me with new LAPD recruits. It's amazing. The same, you know, the whole thing. You have to have one goofy guy, you know, doing stupid stuff, and you know, just smack dab out of the Universal playbook. Even wears the same sort of hat.
Yeah, like, was it Festus on?
Yes, exactly. Yes, Gunsmoke.
Gunsmoke. Yeah.
Nice little bit where he makes the hat go flying.
You gotta give them credit. They probably took a beating.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
yeah.
this guy.
Especially this guy.
Boom. And I was hoping the thing of him bouncing off it was planned. But okay, we all survived. Even Doofus here. And you come out and sign autographs. So I bet the performers loved it.
Matt Dillon.
Yep.
So, Bill, what year was this again?
This is 1968.
I was
68?
Yep, 68.
I know.
I was 9 years old.
But the Hello Dolly sets were up.
Yep.
Well, but Hello Dolly wasn't released till 70. Well, I guess they must have been filming then.
Hello Dolly was filmed early, but just when they're getting ready to release it, the show
That's right.
they got an extension.
That's right.
They couldn't distribute it until the show closed on Broadway, so they had to wait.
Yeah, exactly. They did think it'd be running that long.
Yeah,
Right.
well, Pearl Bailey took over from Carol
Yeah.
Channing, and the show got new life.
And I recently got I think it was a recent DVD that I bought of Hello Dolly. And in the booklet, it mentions that they almost re-recorded the entire soundtrack. Streisand came back in and re-recorded a bunch of her songs. He wasn't happy with some of the, passages or whatever, so they did a lot of
Sent an
re-recording.
email.
Like I said, very impressive sets. And for these people walking on there, like there's a newsstand. Well, that park, this little park right here that was still there when I went to Fox, when I
Yeah.
first went there.
Yeah, they must have been filming during this time, but it looks like the sets are dressed for the parade scene.
He actually comes out and starts looking at the things on the newsstand. Battery to Central Park trolley. More of the street. I was really glad to find this because you know, the stuff shows up so often from Universal, which we're driving to right now. So there's a VW. I recognize that. What else do you guys see?
There's a Ford on the left.
Yeah, Ford. The one on the right, I think, it's a General Motors product, I believe.
Right.
A red's a VW bug for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That I knew.
That's a bright red jet.
And now we're over at Universal. The Glamour Tram. I've got a spoof movie I've got to show one day where they did a thing with Steven Spielberg and everybody else giving tours of the back lot, and it was made for employees. I'll have to find that. It's really a very funny film.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
So as their Sweet Charity, Julie Andrews, Thoroughly Modern Millie.
2 movies that hit the box office and vanished without a trace.
Yeah.
No, not Millie. It was Universal's most successful film for a long time.
I thought it bombed.
No, that's Star you're thinking of.
Unlike Disneyland, we get the front side of water. Smile.
Put the camera down.
Sammy J. The Psychedelic Love Wagon. Sweet Charity. Model ship. Driving in the typical LA freeway.
Now, what kind of car is that?
Ford.
Model T, huh?
Yeah, one of my uncles has one of those. They bring it out for weddings.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
They really baby it.
Foam rubber rocks. You could be a superhero. And you could throw them at your little brother and knock him down.
Bill, one of my son's former Scoutmasters had a Model T in beautiful mint condition. And he used to take it out for special occasions. That was something else.
We had a Scoutmaster in my troop that had a Model T, and it was in beautiful shape. And it was like, wow, I wonder how he affords that. Then when he ended up going to prison for tax evasion, we knew.
Oh.
God, that's funny. The thing I can remember, Gordon Dick was the guy's name.
Gordon what?
Gordon Dick, D-I-C-K.
And he ended up being one.
Yeah. You know, I can remember when he got out of prison and came back to church for the first time, and you know, the guy coming down the aisle, talk about doing the walk of shame. You know, geez.
Have you spoken to Bill, to Steve lately, or Toby?
To who?
To Steve Interfield?
No.
They sold their place up in Livingston Manor.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm sorry they did. I probably would have bought it. It was a nice little house right around the other side of the mountain from OSR.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
We're, by the way, at OSR, we're donating $70,000 to buy a new dock for this year. So,
Really?
yeah, the camp is just thrilled. And we're also raising money to buy some more boats and things. So, successful year. For the folks that don't know, it'll be the camp's 75th anniversary. So we're trying to celebrate in a big way.
Is this, which association is this?
What's that?
Which association is making this donation?
The Ontario Alumni Association.
Okay. I gotta check and see if Dylan's a member, because
Come and join us. The more the merrier.
yeah, well, he worked there 3 or 4 seasons, and he camped there for 6.
I wonder what they were filming. They needed all these sheep there.
Yeah.
Some wool jackets.
Looks like an animal show.
Yeah, petting
Bill-
zoo of some sort.
Bill, if you could send me the link, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, look, my brother.
Who's the one on the left?
I don't know, but it's definitely my brother.
I remember going out to Universal, and what it was a thrill was to see Fred the cockatoo from Beretta.
Oh,
Now, whether or not it was the real Fred or not, who knows? It was a cockatoo, but boy, if the bird could have given autographs, people lined up for it.
Paw prints.
Courthouse Square down there from Back to the Future.
Yeah, the cockatoo is easy to find, but you had to keep your eye on the sparrow.
Good one, Don.
Jack Benny's car, a Maxwell.
Ah. Her car.
And then we get, for train fans, we get to go to Union Station, downtown LA.
Still there, correct?
Yes, and they've done a very nice job of restoring the interior of it. It's used for whatever Amtrak service we still have, but it's also for the Metrolink Metro Rail stations. Gets a lot of commuter traffic in there.
Yeah, I was there. I'd been riding the Metro, and I had to change trains there. So I went up into the station just to look at it. It had been a few years since I'd been there. It was a Saturday. It was packed. All the bars were packed. The restaurant was packed.
Now we go out to beautiful Oceanside, California, and the train is coming on in.
Yeah, I took the train from Union Station out to Anaheim when I went to Disney a few years ago. And that station is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had gotten really, really run down, and they did a private, public partnership to restore it and help bring it back.
How long a ride is that from Anaheim to Disneyland to LA to Anaheim?
About an hour.
Probably much faster than driving it.
Oh yeah.
I have to remember that next time I'm out there.
Yeah, there's a few stops, but yeah, it was was it called the Surfliner?
Yeah.
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 So how close to Disney do you get?
Well, there's a multimodal station that you get off, and it's probably a couple, maybe 2 miles at max. And I think there's a shuttle that if you're going to one of the hotels around there, you can take it for free.
Yeah.
Because I was going to stay at that Holiday Inn right by the parking garage, and so it took about 20 minutes or so to get from the multimodal station to the hotel. And then the hotel was about a 10-minute walk from the entrance.
As a train fan, I got a kick out of this particular piece of it. All right, see what else we have here. All right, we have more. Now we'll go to the 64 World's Fair. Flagpole left from the 39 fair. And we're coming in, there's the now vanished Shea Stadium, came in the main walkway from the subway. Gotham Plaza. There you go, Wayne, RCA. Oh, I have to remember to show the pictures of the Peace Through Understanding arch from Old Forge that we saw on vacation this year. Had such high hopes for monorails. I still wish cities would put them in more.
This guy made a quick jump from the entrance to the monorail.
Yeah. Looks like the monorail's pretty empty that day, too. The Astro Fountain was just massive.
We sure are right about the difference in attire.
Yeah, even
It's
Mom,
an
look how
Expo.
well dressed she is here.
Well, the man, all the men, well, most of the men have suits on.
Yep. Mentioned a friend of mine has one of those stars in his basement. The thing is huge. They're about 4 feet across.
I appreciate that these shots are from the sunny side of the fountain so you can see the color of the stars. Otherwise, they look like old ironworks.
Yeah. And there's our famous Sky Streak elevator. VIP level.
Julie's waiting at the bottom to collect parts.
Boing.
Waiting for the giant cockroach to come down from Men in Black.
Yeah, Men in Black, right.
Yep.
Oh, now I want a gold balloon. This was early on, as you can tell from how clean everything looks there. Look at all the feathers and the hats.
T-Rex's mouth isn't working.
No, it didn't look like he was moving there, did it?
No.
You know, today, of course, a bunch of static dinosaurs wouldn't be of any great excitement. They'd have to leap out and spit venom at you or something.
Huh, he just moved.
Yeah, he just moved there. I'm free, I'm free, I'm rid of them.
It's amazing that that still stands today.
Yep.
Well, it was designed to be permanent.
What?
They designed it to be permanent.
And it's just as impressive as it was then. I mean, I've seen it maybe 4 or 5 times. I'm always amazed by it.
Yeah, every time I ever
There's
left
a
out of
nut.
LaGuardia, we flew over it.
Yeah.
I used to go by at least 3 times a week when I was working on the way to headquarters.
It's kind of sad seeing it sitting there all alone.
Yeah, you wish they would go and like restore the lights on it and stuff.
There was talk,
Yeah.
but that's all it was.
Look how long they've taken to restore the towers.
But you still can't go up in the tower.
Nope.
Don't think you're ever going to be able to again.
So why restore it?
A
so it
few
doesn't
people
fall
get
down.
caught climbing it every now and then.
Yeah, yeah, and the police department has to go up and bring them down if they won't come down.
In Flight Simulator, I'll land helicopters up there.
That was another problem lately. People have been sending drones up there.
Oh yeah, that could be a real mess.
Is that
There's big
illegal?
signs all over the park
Yes,
now about no drones.
Why is it illegal?
it's right by one of the police department
LaGuardia.
highway units and a couple of other restricted areas.
Not far from an
Also-
airport either.
Yeah, I was going to say it's also in, I believe, a glide path to LaGuardia.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, plus I'll be honest with you, even though I'm a drone pilot myself, restricting it so you don't have the sound of 300 people out there with the things going zoom, 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 you know, it's a park. Let people go and enjoy it without the noise.
Yeah.
I mean, I picked the drone I've got because it's very, very quiet, but some of them are very, very noisy and very obtrusive.
How big is your drone?
It's one on the under 249 grams, so it doesn't need a FAA certification.
Okay.
It's a Mini 3 Pro.
So you can use you don't need a controller. You use it through your iPhone or?
No, I have a controller for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, since we moved up here to Vermont, I've been actually thinking of getting a drone to fly around the property, but I haven't done it yet.
Well, if we come up to visit, I'll bring mine
Oh yeah.
and chase the
Where in
bobcat.
Vermont are you at, Don? Where are you at in Vermont?
Ferrisburg.
I'm not
That's
sure. My son's looking to buy a house in Vermont.
it's not easy. The market's pretty flooded. I mean the market's
gonna-
not flooded. The market's pretty thin.
said it's
Ferrisburg's
gonna be-
about 15 miles south of Burlington on Route 7.
Yeah, the same area is gonna look to buy like a $500,000 house on 5 acres on a wooded hillside.
Yeah. Now well, 5 acres, yeah, 500,000-600,000 would do that. Depending
That's
on
right.
Carousel of progress is going the wrong way.
I was just thinking that, Wayne, the same thing. It's so strange to see it going the opposite way.
But that's the way carousels turn.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
the way
yeah,
it's-
everything is relative. This morning I saw an ad, a listing for a castle in Scotland on the island of Rum, R-U-M. And the castle is really impressive, 20 bedrooms, and it's only 750,000 pounds. Then they said, but it needs approximately 10 million pounds worth of work.
Yeah, try heating a place like that.
Yeah,
That's a
Yeah.
fixer-upper.
yeah.
Handyman's delight.
We were in when we were in Paris. We did a tour of the Champagne County, and they said they were willing to give you one of the mansions for $1, but you had to fix it up.
Yeah.
And they said you're looking at a couple of million easy for a good one.
What's interesting on this site, they were saying that there's only 40 people that live on the island. And if you want to buy the property, you have to submit a written description of what you intend to do with it to make sure that your plans are homogeneous with the residents of the island.
Oh my God, an HOA in Scotland? Wow.
You think if you have a castle, you can do anything you want, right? You know? I mean, it looked really nice, and it was. They said the current owners did a lot of work to restore it. And it still had the original, pictures of the guy that built it and everything. Oil paintings. But yeah, the 750,000 pounds. I said I could swing that. Then the 10 million pounds to restore it. Nah, that's.
I don't think so.
No. But again, if anybody would like to make a contribution to the fund.
Hey, we all buy a room.
Yeah.
Bill Cotter's HOA.
I want my own castle so I can put a cannon on the rampart, just have fun.
Fire it off at noon.
Yep.
Put alligators in the moots.
That was disappointing. It didn't have a moat. I was wondering how much it would cost to put one in.
I knew a guy a long time ago named Richard Garriott who actually built his own moat.
Really?
in Austin.
What do you put in it?
Water. He was going to build it around the house. Eventually, he just built an island with the thing going around it. We use it in
With
his
his
haunted
drawbridge on it?
houses.
Yeah, with drawbridge on it.
No, he did not. He had boats that went around it if you wanted to get in there.
There's a house in my neighborhood where the guy had it styled like a castle. Just drove by it yesterday on my way home. And it's just so weird because here's all these suburban houses and then this one with a tower and stuff on it. It does not fit the neighborhood at all. But I was thinking if you wanted to sell it, you definitely got to find a buyer that is willing to buy a weird castle-shaped house.
Hey, Don, did you get that blizzard up there in Vermont with the cold air?
Well, it was hardly blizzard. We got 6 inches of snow, but it was very cold. It got down to -6 here in Ferrisburg.
Wow. What is it there now?
Right now around 26 degrees. I walked my trail cams this morning. It wasn't too bad.
I'm all the way down by Charlotte. It's only 43 here. Yesterday's high was 38. But no
Charlotte?
snow or ice.
Yeah,
it's
just
pretty
pause this one here because look at how much 64 icons you can get in one shot. We've got the 2 strollers, the Hertz strollers. We've got the Serpentine phone booths. We've got the Swiss clock. We've got the glider ride. Matter of fact, if anybody wants one, that somebody's selling a glider. I'll get this right. Glide ride tug on Facebook Marketplace in New Jersey for $2,500. Engine is seized, but has lots of potential. So if anybody would like to, to drive around the neighborhood in a glider ride, it's all set.
It's also got the light standards.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the trash cans.
Yep. Yeah, all in one shot.
What
But
market
no, none.
is on eBay?
Rhinegold's, Little Old New York. Oh, wouldn't that look great in my yard? Oh man. They are big though. A friend of mine has one in his yard and they are big.
Does he have it wired?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's got it wired. He had it
Oh my
restored and
God.
wired. And
I'm sure his neighbors love him.
Oh, he doesn't have the entire height of the pole. He's got about a 6-cuber. He doesn't have one of those big 16s. But he's also underneath it. He has 2 benches from the Chrysler building, sitting out there. Those little scoop-shaped chairs. So you can go out and sit in the yard in a Chrysler chair and under his street light. It's kind of neat. In the garage, he has Uncle Martin's spaceship from My Favorite Martian.
How do you get that?
He's in the business. He's in the prop making business and stuff. So this is the Trans-American Highway Gardens here, which became a go-kart course in '65. We have some blank film. Then we're back again. Hey, Mickey. Arlington hats down below. Now we're getting further into the fair. The balloons are starting to look a bit dingy. Hey, we got pirate hats. How cool.
It must be up on Kodak.
Yeah.
Yes, this is the roof of Kodak. Those might have actually been the tri-corner hats they had for a while at Continental Insurance. But yes, lots of the Pan American Highway Gardens down below.
K&M shuttle.
No, that's sightseeing. Just went up, went around, came back. They didn't do the shuttle, into the city.
Had the Pan Am building been completed at this point?
I don't recall, to be honest with you. Hey, that's a Ford. That's a Ford.
Without a driver.
Yep.
Nice hair.
I would not want to drive a car through that crowd.
How much did your processor color correct this film?
I can show you the original version as a comparison.
I mean, was it a lot or was it just
It's a
minimal?
fair amount. Yeah, it really brightens it up. It really brings. So we're into
Yeah.
75 here, by the way. Yeah, it
Yeah,
really
no,
makes the
colors are
colors a
good
lot
here.
more vivid. The nice thing it does, it's a multi-stage process, but it also stabilizes, so we don't get the camera jitter. It's just real common with 8mm. So this is through step one is scan it. Step one is physically clean it. Step two is scan it. Step three is put it through this initial color correction. And then step four goes into edit out all the weird stuff and bed splices and that sort of thing. Then the next step is to degrain it and more color correction and digital dirt removal. So it takes a while for each of them, which is why a lot of them are still in the rough stage. Again, more dirt up in the top. You can see how the dirt looks like it's moving around. That's because the camera stabilized on the image, the picture here, and that's just how much the thing was moving around on its own. SKF ball bearings in the background, the big tower.
Dirt looks like the branches of a tree hanging down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It does. Now, the Simca ride.
Who's that?
I got a kick out of this one. He's actually steering it.
Don't turn left.
We're making a right turn. We're making another right turn.
Yeah, considering Ford had, drive in the Mustang, go see the dinosaurs, I always felt sorry for Chrysler.
Drinking fountains. Don't see
Yeah.
those used much
No.
these days. What's the sign? Here comes
The
one.
Mad Martian. It was a what you call it, one of these crazy street cars.
Okay.
You could buy a kit, AMF kit, and build your Mad Martian. It was in the days of what was the guy, Ratfink, and some of the other things.
Mad Martian. I got to look at that. Let's see.
Not fair to show this at lunchtime.
You know what your next project should be, Bill?
What's that?
And that is to have an interactive map side by side with the films, so that every location that we see in the film, there's a spot on the map as to where it's located, so that we can have apart from we kind of know where we're standing,
right,
based on billions and like how the Google Maps is, you place the thing down and it sets you there. I mean, that's a lot of work. And maybe that could be something that could be done through Google Maps, because that's highly tailorable. But
yeah, I'll do that in my spare time.
Yeah.
There's a click version of a map on Peace Through Understanding that, click someplace and it gives you a description. It just doesn't show the videos.
No, I could also put subtitles on them just to tell you.
That's DuPont. We know where we are.
Yeah.
What's scary is when they were eating the hot dogs that I even recognized where that was. So
Johnson's Wax.
Golden Rondell.
Sounds like a singing group.
Yeah. Scary to think this guy is probably collecting Social Security.
Yeah, he's
Well,
probably
he's younger than me. I know that.
Yeah.
he's in his late 70s by now.
No,
No, he'd be late 60s.
Yeah.
Well, you said
Well,
this
this-
was 68.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
This is 60 years old, this movie.
Yeah.
And this was
That was
68,
three.
and I was 9 years old when this was made.
So
So
they're all on Social Security by now.
they're just getting it. Yeah.
I'm going to Medicare in 3 months.
Enjoy.
Oh, yeah. My joy knows bounds.
It's worked out well for me.
Me too.
Yeah.
I went on
actually heard
there the
good
second I could because I hated the insurance that Delta Airlines provided.
You don't see baby carriages like that anymore.
No.
What is that?
Borough Park, you do.
Oh, do you really? Still, wow.
Yeah. And parts of Williamsburg and the Satmars.
Well, they're not that much different than those big wagons the parents drag around now.
Oh God, that's true.
Did you ever think of putting on a necktie today to go out to a fair? Never.
And the way the ladies are dressed.
Now we're going off here to whoever these people are, if you can recognize them, they're somebody famous because they're going to put their hands on the concrete.
Is that Aunt Tony Perkins?
Looked a little bit like him. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe not.
And who is she?
I'm assuming the handprints are long gone.
Yeah, they all disappeared. Nobody seems to know where they went post fair. I figure somebody's got a really interesting patio in Queens somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably Joey.
Does anyone check Joey's
Yeah,
walkway?
I was just going to say, Joey.
Joey has it.
Joey.
I think today's his birthday, by the way. He's either today or yesterday.
Oh wow.
We don't see him too often anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
collecting those panels would be a pain. Imagine the album you have to put them in.
Yeah, today's Joey's birthday.
Oh,
If you're on Facebook, go wish him a happy birthday.
you know, I just restored a reel of his home movies and have Joey at the fair debate about age 6 or so. So we'll have to convince him to let us show them on one time. But he's having quite the day at the fair.
You know what they say, Bill? It's always easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
Oh.
He got a kick out of it because I put titles on the beginning of it and it said the World's Fair presented in Bento Vision.
Excuse me.
I think we get into darkness for most of this now. Let's see how long it lasts with any sort of quality. Obviously, the United States Pavilion in the back, the fountains underneath. Let me skip out of this one, but just as a comparison, yes, how much it restored it. This is the same film before it goes through the first step of restoration. So you can see, you know, the colors are much more muted and, you know, nowhere near as bright.
Kind of a gray overcast look to it.
Yeah.
That's like it was before my cataract surgery.
Oh man, you stole my thunder. You stole my thunder. Hang on here 1 second. Yeah, there's Bento's film. I won't show that. But now we'll go and we'll show Cotter film. 1 second here. And we're going to show Freedomland,
Oh, cool.
1962. So there's my brothers out in front of the house, my brother Jerry, my brother Ed. But we are going to go to Freedomland. There's me.
Which one?
The one in the Canada shirt looking up. So we are taking the boat ride around Freedomland now. Freedomland was great. It was really a fascinating park to go to. I mean, again, we didn't think we'd ever get to Disneyland, so having our own version in the Bronx was just really great to go to.
When was Freedomland built?
It was built in about 61,
Okay.
so it's about be about a
Built
year
by the
old
fair.
at this point.
It had the paddle boats, had the trains, just like Disney.
And
Yeah,
when did
no.
it close?
I had to go back and redo this film a couple times because the exposure rate really changed on it. So get the next part here.
I believe it closed in 65 or 66. Fair pretty
65,
much
I
killed
think.
it dead.
Fair killed it.
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, so they had a Wild Mouse roller coaster. Those were chuck wagons that were restaurants. You got your food and came out and sat at a picnic table.
They were shaped like the United States, too.
Yeah.
Right, right.
There's my brother
Steve
Jerry
would.
with the hat there. Here comes Jerry again. Hi, Jerry. There's my brother. There's my brother waved and me behind him. I'm the one on the right.
Oh, that's you.
Yep, that's
Oh.
me on the white horse there, coming down.
So was your
Back before
dad
I
taking
wore
the
glasses.
pictures?
Hey, I'm having a. Well, this was the Civil War ride. I've mentioned before. I love the Civil War ride because if you sat in the back of the wagon, you could watch all the dead horses stand back up and stuff. It was
Those mannequins or actors playing the dead people.
all mannequins. And again, I think my mother shot these, and she actually I think my dad was there this day and did these. He wasn't so great with the exposure on them, so let's try. Again, I can
Today
try.
the place is
I can try
today
to
it's Co-op
adjust it
City.
somewhat in the editor, and try to make it darker, but you can only do so much.
Bill, do you recall what kind of camera they were using?
No, I do not. And I don't know where it went. Oh, that's Belmont Lake State Park. So let's see what else we got here. We
But
won't.
they had
touch
another
it.
paddle-wheeled steamship in there.
Yeah. Let's see. Freedomland. Okay, we've seen that. Let's see.
You know, Bill, in that previous film, I didn't notice you weren't up close with them, but some of the crowd scenes, I didn't see many men wearing coats. And I just wonder how much of that also was the World's Fair by nature was a special place to go versus,
Yeah, it could be.
you know,
Yeah, you're right.
the
No
combination
jackets,
of
no
people
tie.
did dress more then, but they're also, what's the event?
Yeah, it could be. Let's see where we go. Oh, Farmers Market.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is still part of it there today. Now it's the Grove Shopping Center. But if you
Right
grew
next
up
to
in LA,
Television
Farmers
City.
Market was the spot to go to for a long period of time. E.F. Hutton, God, dating ourselves. But Farmers Market had all sorts of these food stalls out there, and then shops and odds and ends.
Well, it still does have the food stalls.
Yep.
And there's some good food in there.
What year is this?
I have to look again. Oh, now I want corned beef for lunch. It was
Yeah.
mid-60s. I'd have to look up. Hang on. I think I might have had the year. 1 second. Let me see.
Corned beef sandwich with 20 ounces of meat in it.
No, I don't have the year handy.
Yeah, I remember they had a butcher shop in this place too, that you could watch them with the sausage machine filling the natural casings.
Right.
I always thought that was really fascinating to me that it was another part of the animal that they were putting it in. It wasn't something else, and then watching the guy, if he just come out as one long weenie, and he'd twist and twist, and he got everyone just the right size, all by hand.
They
Now, how about
use
this one?
everything but the oink.
Yeah.
This
Reading
one,
if it's
I have to send a copy of this to my friend who's a comic book writer and historian. But he mentions
Oh.
going there and buying comic books at farmers market, and he's got a great story he tells about being out there and meeting Mel Torme and all sorts of other stuff. But anyway, this was back, you know, before anybody knew that comic books had any values. So comics for kiddies.
Yeah, but comics spelled with a K. That's
Yeah, well, that
interesting.
makes it cool, right?
Don't
Oh,
mind
it's
me asking,
Russian.
Bill, what's your friend's name?
Mark Evanier.
Mark Evanier. My wife was co-founder of a comic book shop years ago. Still runs, called Dragon's Lair. Still out there.
Oh, wow. Now we're going to go look at a whole bunch of homes of celebrities. And if anybody knows who any of these are, I would absolutely, I'm going to stick this on Facebook and see if anybody can go and put any names to it.
No,
But
that one looked kind of familiar. I can't remember whose it was, but I've seen it before in the Stars Homes.
Maybe
the
we'll
Spanish
see like
style.
Joan Crawford out mowing her lawn.
Yeah, right.
Or I should say Christina.
yeah, and Mother Inside with the hangers.
Yeah.
Victor Borgia is our host tonight. Whoa, that sounds
Oh,
good.
wow.
Back to more celebrities. Yeah, so sometimes you just end up with weird stuff on these, you know, films. Like I said, you get it. I bought it because of the farmers market. I really wanted to capture that. Then you end up with some of this stuff, and maybe somebody will recognize it. What I'm going to try to do on some of these is take still frames, stick it into Google reverse image, and every now and then it does pop up and tell you that it's so and such's house.
So many of these homes have been, what you could say, remodeled or
Yeah.
bastardized.
But it's really good because it can go back and take somebody else's picture that they did, you know, from 1966 or whatever this was, and they labeled it, and it can match it up. I've done it with a couple of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not this reel, but another one. The rich, they live differently than us.
Yep.
I suppose you get
holes
used to
back
the
in
tour
there.
buses going by.
Yeah. Boy, when I first moved out here, there were still the people on the side of the road selling maps of the, you know,
Yeah.
Hollywood homes.
I remember that too. Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody doing that in quite a while.
Internet killed their business.
Well, I
How
think
come
I've
they're
told
not
this
there?
story before, Bill, but my dad worked for the Southern California Gas Company, and he worked in the that division that was out there where all the Stars homes were in Beverly Hills for a while. And he was one day working on, I can't remember whose star it was, a famous TV star, and he was working on the heater in their room. You know, that's when they used to have individual heaters before you had forced air. It was an older home. And a tour bus came by and they said, this is the home of just like Jack Benny or whatever. And they said, you know, sometimes they're in the house and they'll wave at the bus. And my dad hears this and he pops up in the window and waves, and everybody starts snapping pictures and screaming and yelling.
I had a similar thing. I went out to interview David Hasselhoff when Knight Rider first came out for a Starlog magazine, and went to his house, and he was a really nice guy. Couldn't have been a nicer guy, but we didn't finish the interview. And he said, I'm going to be shooting at, as a matter of fact, invited us to a big party that night with him and his fiance. But he said, the next day I'm shooting at Universal. Do you want to come out and we'll finish there? So I went out, and he was practicing all those crazy turns they do with the Knight Rider car. And I'm sitting in the front seat trying not to barf. I mean, it was really great. He comes racing up, and the tram is there, and he comes screeching up to the thing and jumps out and starts signing autographs for people. And the people are shoving the things out. And he said, I don't know why you want my autograph. This is the guy you want here, and you ought to get his autograph. And people are handing in autograph books. Oh, I didn't know what to sign. You know, like, what do you sign? Charlton Heston or something, you know?
You worked for Starlog?
Yeah, I did quite a few, back to Freedomland now. I did quite a few articles for Starlog.
They were great.
On my website.
That was a great magazine.
Yeah, no, I was actually a West Coast correspondent. I got about 20 articles in there over the years and arranged a lot of others for other folks. So we're at the Chicago fire. This
Yeah,
was
I
great
thought so.
fun at Freedomland. You came in and they announced that Mrs. Borden had kicked over, the cow had kicked over the lantern, and they would pick you to go out and pump the wagon and put out the fire. It was great fun to do.
That was quite a sweater she was wearing.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say that sweater and those glasses.
Yeah.
It looked like a Boy Scout unit with the flags.
It's some marching band of some kind. Look how small some of those kids are. Yep, there's. Now they had a petting farm out there.
Free
There's
admission,
still-
but if you wanted your kid back, you have to pay.
Did you say this was?
Isn't there still a marker from Freedomland?
Yeah,
up
they
above?
put one in about 8 years ago. It's a what you call it? Looping again. It's it's where Co-op City is now, and they what you call it? Put it in a marker out there a couple of years ago. I've got
The
more.
steamboat. Yeah, they acknowledge the steamboat. I think the one of the paddle wheels is there.
Yeah.
I think that's what they did. I've seen it.
Yes, they have a little bit of their Tootsie. That was the boat, the ferry boat.
If it wasn't for the New York Fair, Freedomland might still exist.
Yes, that was a problem. I worked with C.V. Wood, the guy that built Freedomland, and we talked a lot about it. And you know, that was one of the things they thought was everybody would come to World's Fair and take a day to go to Freedomland. And in reality, nobody went to Freedomland that came in from, say, Germany or whatever. And everybody that lived in New York stopped going to Freedomland for 2 years because they figured they could go to it after the fair. And the income just plummeted. And they couldn't keep the lights on.
But after the fair, didn't the income go back up?
No, it was gone.
If they had built it later, maybe it would have had a chance.
Yeah.
Well, it has that other problem of being in New York. Can't run it year round, just like the fair.
Well,
But
that's what he said. He said, I had a park, I had to pay property tax and insurance on for 12 months of the year, and I could run it for 4 months of the year. He also said that the, you know, it opened Memorial Day, closed Labor Day, and it didn't matter how nice the weather was in September. You couldn't get an extra week or anything out of it because all your employees had to go back to college. He said the other thing that really killed it was the New York unions. It was the day of the Fulton Fish Market scandals and all that. And he said, just having anything done, and you'd have meetings and the guys would come, nice little park you have here. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it. So he said he paid a fortune of protection money.
Did the fair get involved in that protection money stuff?
What's that?
Did the fair get involved in protection money and all that?
I don't think so. I think that because it was a government thing, I think they were afraid to mess with the government. Now, they did have a lot of union issues at the fair, but Moses basically paid them off by putting a what you call it, you know, paying them way over the prevailing wages, and said, if you agree not to strike or do anything, we'll pay you this amount of money. And that the cost of getting like your janitorial services done at the fair was absolutely exorbitant, but he got what he wanted, which was a no strike clause. That's the ride called Danny the Dragon, which moved up to Lake George after Freedomland closed.
there's still one of those running in a little theme park in San Jose, California for kids.
Yeah, Happy Hollow.
Happy Hollow. Yeah, I've been on that Danny Dragon when I was a little.
I was raised in the area.
Oh, I was too, at least until I was about 8.
Where'd you live?
Well, my dad worked for IBM. We lived Stratford Drive near Farnham Elementary School, if that helps you.
Which elementary school?
Farnham.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I lived in Santa Clara actually, but
oh, okay, nearby. Yeah. Yeah, I have some memories there, but like I said, I was 8 when I moved to Vermont.
Right.
This one has not gone through the restoration process, so this is the original scan. It hasn't brightened it up. Satellite Turnpike. Everything's got to be space age, right?
They had a flying saucer ride, didn't they?
It was a flying
Was it a
saucer building, and it
building?
was run by Braniff Airlines.
I was just gonna mention, I knew Braniff sponsored something there.
Yeah, it was a simulated flight inside, but it wasn't like Disneyland with the flying saucers that you bounced around on.
Yeah, but so it was more like a like their flight to the moon type attraction.
Right, yeah. And I think we have one more bit of Freedomland here. No, we don't need to see this again. It keeps looping. I keep turning it off and it keeps coming back on. Yeah, the guy that built the C.V. Wood, he was a very interesting character. He helped build Disneyland, and then all of a sudden got persona non grata because Walt found that he was taking kickbacks.
Yep. He also built Six Flags over Texas.
Yes, yes. And,
Which, if you look at the old sections of the park, you can tell very well themed.
yeah, he built a couple of them. There's another one in Colorado he built, and I'm trying to remember what the name of that one was. And another one outside of Boston. He built about 8 different parks over the time. I worked with him on a park for Brisbane.
Huh.
Yeah, Freedomland was really great. I mean, they had quite a bit of things in there. There was a maze, a house of glass where you walked in and had to find your way out. And I can remember my brother Jim and I, you'd bang into that damn glass, and you were after a while you could tell how to get out because you see all the smudges of everybody else that had run into it. But, it was they had a lot of things that were kind of fun there.
What was larger, Freedomland or New York Fair? Which had more acreage?
Oh, the World's Fair.
World's Fair was bigger?
Yeah.
Freedomland wasn't that big, as I recall.
No,
I never
I thought
been
it was
there.
a pretty big place.
That train station there is now up in New Hampshire, not too terribly far from Don, and so's the train.
Was the one in Denver Elitch's?
What was the name?
Elitch's
No, I'm trying
amusement park. That was
That
one
was
that was.
that was built long before that.
Yeah, Elitch
Okay.
was like from the turn of the last century, wasn't it?
Huh.
It wasn't like Magic Mountain at Heritage Square or East Tin Cup.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. I have to look
Yeah.
it up.
I'm
Because
finding
there's
out.
several that have been shut down.
Let's see.
Colorado Fun Center, that was Celebrity Sports. I
Yes,
thought that was part of Disney though.
that was Disney.
Yeah.
Fun out in the parking lot before we go home. So a
Hey,
few
Brock.
odds and ends there. Hope people enjoyed.
It was great.
Hey, Brock,
Yeah.
I got a question for you. I know
Okay.
you do. I know you do stamps, but I have a dollar bill that's double print. It has the front printed on the back.
Yeah, I think Bill mentioned this to me, and my guess is I don't collect those things. My guess is that as it came off the press, it went on top of a sheet where the ink hadn't totally dried yet, and
Right.
it picked up some of that ink on that side. I'd have to see it to, or a picture of it at least. I mean, but I don't know. It's possible. Is there anything on the other side of it? What's on the other side?
The face is on the dollar bill.
So you have it's a normal dollar bill, but on one side, the other side was also printed out over what was there. Is
Yeah.
that what you're saying? Yeah. So it'd
let
be
me
one of two things, either like what I just mentioned, or it could have been that somehow they pulled it off to look at it and check it for quality and dropped it back into a wrong pile and it went through a second time. I don't, that'd be the only other thing without seeing it itself. See what
Well,
the image
let me
quality
see if
is.
I can send it
Probably
to you.
valuable.
May or may
Someone
not
might-
be.
Yeah, someone said it was worth $100. I don't know. It's been sitting in my safe for 20 years. And I was just wondering.
Is it a $1 bill?
Yeah, it's $1 bill.
Is it
Uh, I-
is it a silver certificate or is it?
No, no, it's not a silver certificate. I'm just wondering if there's any way I could paste into the chat. Let me just see.
Why don't you
Did you
just share
find
the
it in
screen?
circulation?
Do you have an image
Yeah.
of it?
I got it as change, as I recall, a long time ago. Come
So
on.
it has a lot of wear and tear, has wear and tear on it then, right? Has wear and tear on it?
Yeah, yeah. No, unable to, unable to send due to administrative restrictions.
Oh, okay.
Well, Bill could make you a co-host and you could just
Yeah.
put
why
it
don't
up
you do
on.
that?
Yeah.
So Brock, my husband's got an old stamp collection that I said earlier when I found the Disney stuff that we're cleaning out drawers, and he's got his stamp collection from when he was a kid. There's not really a lot of ways to sell those anymore, are there?
No, there's not a lot of people are collecting like it used to be.
Yeah.
And, it just depends on what's in there. If he happened to have collected it as a kid, probably not, because none of us can afford that sort of stuff. Really early
Yeah.
stamps, that are valuable. I mean, I look at it and say it's so interesting. A stamp today from, say 1850 in the 1850s, something like that now might run $200 or $300. Back when I was a kid, it was like $10 or $12, which doesn't sound like much, but as a kid, $10 or $12 was like,
oh yeah,
I got 50 cents a week in allowance.
That's exactly what he had to
go.
go through, was once the plate blocks got to be so expensive, and he has some,
Yeah.
he has his grandfather's collection too. And we were going
Well,
through
that
it, we
might be
found a
something.
whole sheet of Walt Disney stamps actually.
Okay.
So,
Carol?
but we're just like, what do we do with them,
Carol?
Yeah.
My wife got a stamp collection and we sold it to a gentleman in Queens. If I can find his, yep, I found his card. I can give you his information.
Send it to me.
You want
I
to just
gotta
type
get
it
rid of
into,
my collection.
wow, yeah.
I'll type the,
Why don't you
I'll
send
type,
it, here's my email address.
okay, I'll send you the information.
Oops, take that second period out of there, but yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
we're cleaning things out. We're finding these, and
Yeah.
I used to help him when we were dating with that, but he hasn't really done much with it. And again, when stamps got to be more expensive, it was kind of an expensive hobby.
Yeah, and the fact that they put so many out now, there may be like a stamp that's set out on a certain date, but
Yeah.
that sheet of 20 stamps is 20 different designs. So you got 20 different,
Yeah.
you don't need just the one stamp. And the
Yeah.
post office has made it tougher too, because very seldom can you buy now stamps singly from the post office.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
commemoratives, you got to buy sheets almost 98% of the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, that's,
Yeah, Don put the name in the chat. The park in Colorado is Magic Mountain.
Magic Mountain. I thought so.
Yeah,
but
that's what I
didn't-
thought it was. Yeah. Yeah.
Not the same as our Magic Mountain. But,
Yeah. You have a bit longer walk from your house to get to the Colorado one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, there
Yeah.
have been several built here, and most of them, like the celebrity one, went away after a while. So Elitch's and Lakeside are still there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Well,
Scott,
Elitch has
are you-
been bought a couple of times, so yeah.
are you going to be able to show that or not?
Give me 1 second. I'm just
Okay.
typing out the information for Carol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't know what we're gonna do with it. We're just like, somehow or another, we decided we were gonna condoize, I guess, and get rid of things. But like coins, we've got a lot of those wheat pennies and things like that.
Yeah.
He does those too.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
stamp and coins. I just
Oh,
sent,
really?
check your email. See if you got it.
Okay. Hang on a second.
great.
Not yet, but give it a minute. Yeah. Did you do with one period only on the Gmail?
Yeah, I took the second period out.
Yeah, it kind of doubled. I'm having some internet issue today. It might take a little bit to get here.
Yeah, Scott,
Okay.
can you try to show the dollar bill now? I made you co-host.
Okay, so.
Oh, Scott, I got it. Thank you.
No problem.
You guys want me
Okay,
to copy it in, Brent, Brock, do you want me to copy it into the chat?
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, could you talk me through how to do this?
I've
Bill?
never tried attaching a picture, but I see, let's see, let me put
Well,
these.
If I can open let me just open my desktop. I'll
Yeah,
put it.
sure.
Hold on one sec. Okay. Uh, just tell me how to
Yeah.
open up my desktop
Should be
to
a share screen, the little green button down at the bottom. And
share. Yeah.
Then you pick the window you want to share and click share. Scott has started screen sharing. There it is.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
There it is.
Yeah,
There you
that
go, Brock.
I know. I'm looking at it now, and that to me looks like it picked up ink off of the sheet ahead of it that had come through, still had wet ink on it, because the quality of the Washington does not appear to be the same. I don't think I don't even have my wallet with me. I was gonna see
No
if I had a
problem.
$1 bill to look at it, but it doesn't look like it's the same level of quality. If you look at the green, like around the Great Seal and some of that fine work to the right lower corner and stuff like that, and then you
Right.
look at what you can see of this, it's all very, very rough. It's not very fine. So my guess is that it somehow, the ink on on another sheet of the
Yeah, residual
$1
ink,
of the,
yeah.
the black side was still wet, and this sheet came in and set on top of it. And they usually catch that in quality control, but not always, because it might go through for quite a while stuck together, and then it separates. And
Right.
so that
Do you
that would
think
be
it's
my
worth
guess.
anything?
Because if
I
you
think
look
it'd
at
be
it too, you
valuable.
see the $1 is backwards.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's backwards on that, which that's kind of odd
What's
too.
also interesting,
Washington should be looking to the right.
if you look at it, I don't see the
Yeah.
Federal Reserve seal on there.
Or
and
the numbers. Yeah.
The
Or the
serial
serial
It's
numbers
just
number.
on there.
just the black ink transferred off.
Yeah, it was just the black ink that transferred over. So
All right.
that's, they go through several steps in the
Mm.
printing process. So
Right,
somehow,
because aren't the serial numbers are put on later, right?
yes, they're
Yeah,
they're
Later in the
set.
printing process, yeah.
But if you look at it, this Federal Reserve seal is in black, and then that's not on there. If this is reversed, it should be over on the right-hand side underneath where the eagle is.
Yeah, I think I'll send
Yeah.
this to the gentleman I sent to Carol. Maybe he'll
Yeah.
make me an offer.
Well,
I
and he
think
can
you
look
could-
at it and tell you what it is too, whether it is a a transfer of wet ink.
Right.
Um,
And
because
exactly. Like
it would be a transfer. It would reverse it, because you're picking up red ink or the black ink off of something that's been printed the correct way. If you look at the die that actually prints these, they're in reverse.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
The ink is put on them, and then the ink's put on the paper, and that makes it a positive instead of a negative, or the correct
Mhm.
way. So that this is a pickup of ink off of a not quite dry part of the run for the $1, the black run of the $1 side, before anything else went on it. And I think that's what that is. And so it transferred over and got missed in the process. So that's what might give it some value, is the fact that, usually those things are caught. It's not a, that it was printed on both sides. It is just a transfer of ink from another paper. Otherwise it would be forward and not backwards.
If it was
So you
forward,
got
I
this-
would
you
think,
got this
if
as
it was
change?
forward, I think it'd be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be, because that would have meant it went through the printing press twice on the
Mhm.
same side of the paper, but for the two different dyes,
Right.
which would be much more unusual. But again, that can happen, but it usually is caught by quality control. So
Still pretty cool.
Someone blinked that day.
And you got that
Stick
as
in the
change?
dollar bill changer and see what you get.
No, homie don't think so.
No.
I've got a couple of old silver eagles from the 1890s. They were my mother's, and they've been sitting in the safe for, well, 50 years, 40 years. And along with some other coins. my wife still has her stamp collection from when she was young, and she does have a few valuables.
Yeah.
That she knows.
Yeah.
And she's
Figure if that
very
much
hesitant.
interest-
She's very
If that
hesitant
much-
to get rid of it.
Yeah, we probably do too, but it's tough to just ship it someplace. There aren't a lot
Well-
of people around here that look at them.
That the gentleman that I sent you, he was very fair in what we took, because we had literally 6 boxes
Oh
of
my gosh.
stamps, of 1.5 cubic foot stamps. He had stuff he had ordered he'd never opened. They were still in the envelopes.
Yeah.
And they had been in the envelopes for 15, 20 years, according to the
Yeah, we might have some of
postmarks.
that. We might have some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was this was an uncle of my wife that lost contact. One day we get a phone call from a investigator saying, "Are you Fern Freed, need Fern Gross?" And it turns out, yeah, went through it, and he had 2 stepsons, and as a blood relative, she did have some share. And we said, "All right, listen, we know what you want. All my wife wants is the stamp collection." And the guy said, "Oh, great. Yeah. We don't even know what's in that damn thing." But he goes, "But there is a number of boxes and we really can't ship." And we arranged to meet in Queens at a Ben's Deli in Queens. If you look up where Ben's is, you'll see it's near Throg's Neck. And he goes, "You know, the lawyer just said, have you sign an agreement. You're taking this stuff and you're giving up claim." Okay, fine. And literally 10 boxes of stamps in my car. And my wife's going, "Oh my God." And it literally took her 6 months of going through the whole thing. She knew some of them, but this guy collected UN stamps, American stamps, European stamps, and everything from just about every stamp seller in the United States, because there were envelopes from everywhere, almost every state in the Union except for Alaska and Hawaii. And she put it all together. She cataloged it. We took it to this gentleman because we found out he was reputable. We showed him what we had. We went through it. It took him literally an hour of looking through all the books. And he goes, "Okay, most of this, the UN stuff is worth nothing. UN stamps really have no value." He goes, "You do have a few valuable ones." He gave us what we thought was a very good price, a little bit more than we thought. And my wife was happy. He was happy. My back wasn't happy, but like I said, reach out to him, Carol. See, see. The worst is you spend some time talking to him.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
Brock?
Thank you, Brock.
You're welcome.
Brock, I wanted to mention, I'm always going through boxes since the move, and I found I'm holding the packet here. It's a special stamp packet purchased at Hemisphere 68 Post Office, and it's inside is a sealed thing with 6 hemispheres, 68 stamps.
I'm not seeing it in the screen.
Oh,
There.
okay, I'll try to get up to the camera.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I catch quick glimpses. Right now, all I'm seeing is your bobcat.
Yeah, let me get the
You can
bobcat
go
off.
I'm gonna say if you go off the artificial background, sometimes
Yeah.
that's what causes it.
Oh, that's definitely what's causing. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
I doubt these are worth anything because I've searched for these things and they're not worth anything. I thought you might find it interesting.
There is that misprint hemisphere stamp.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Here
what
we
it
go.
is.
Okay, so this is the envelope here,
Okay.
and sealed inside is that.
Okay.
And there's it's a tear off. So they've been sealed in there ever since the fair. It's got a tear off tab where my finger is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another pretty plain stamp.
Yeah, they're just the stamps that were that were published by the post office for that. Somebody
For that
decided to
event,
put it
yeah.
together in a package
Mhm.
that people
Mhm.
might say, oh, it'd be neat to have stamps from the fair.
Yeah.
You know, and there weren't any of the misprint ones there because I saw all the parts to them.
Oh yeah, there's nothing. I just thought you might be interested. I mean, they're not
No,
rare.
they're not a rare stamp, but it's interesting because some company decided that would be, something, and I'm sure they sold a good number of them, and they probably sold it for much more than the postage was worth because people were buying it as a souvenir.
Yeah, they're marked. It's marked $2.75, and they're 6-cent stamps, and there are 6 of them. So somebody made a fortune.
Yeah, that's a good price.
Wow.
Well, there was the envelope and it's printing, that might be another 10 cents.
Yeah.
In those days.
The funny thing is, this was in my stepfather's stuff, and as far as I know, he never went to that fair. So I'm not sure how I ended up with them, but I've got some 64 World's Fair stamps that I happened to find in the box, and I had these. I'll put them in with my other stuff. But
yeah,
Brock, is the misprint on the hemisphere stamp? Isn't it the white?
I'm trying to remember.
Is off center or something, like the stamp has like a white spiral emanating from San Antonio.
Yeah. I'll show you.
And I believe
it's
that's a
off-center.
negative. In other words, that's I don't believe the white was actually printed. That's just a negative on the paper, which means something else was misaligned when it went through and printed.
And Mr. Zip,
I'd have to look that up and see what it says about it.
Yeah, it's not it's not all that great a picture on the stamp. I'm surprised they didn't do something with the tower or something, but
no, the whole concept was that the fair, because it was hemisphere for the North American, South American hemisphere, that San Antonio was intended to be the meeting point of the hemisphere, the celebration of all of that. So that's it emanating from there, going out to all those, North America, South American countries and stuff like that. It was a symbolic thing. It wasn't,
yeah, I'd forgotten about that, but you're right.
Yeah.
No, I just thought you might find it interesting. I'm just going to go back into my file. I don't own May stamps, but that's,
Sure.
Carol, I sent you his email info also.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
Good luck.
There's a big interest in the Lincoln pennies now because they stopped making them.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there's an auction going on through, I think it's Heritage Auctions or Stacks, I think it's Stacks in New York. The very last minted penny. And then they've got a certain number, I think it's like 75 sets. One is gold plated, one from Denver, a regular one from Denver, a regular one from Philadelphia. Right now, the bids are around $10,000 to $15,000
for a penny. Wow.
for the 3 sets. I don't know about the lot that has the actual very last penny truck. I mean, they're saying that there's probably others.
Well, I won't be buying
Could they
those.
restart again making pennies?
Yeah.
I'm sure they got plenty of copper stock still. At the
Well,
mint.
no,
there's zinc these days.
Well,
was it
part
all
of it is
stock?
the fact that the pennies are worth more than the copper in the penny is worth more than a penny.
On just
It's
and the
part of
production
it.
value.
And they need to get away from this, the tax thing. They should round off to the nearest nickel. It doesn't make sense to carry it to that penny. Nobody uses the change. I mean, whenever I get change, I hardly use cash, but when I do, it just goes in a thing that when I get a wrapper's worth and I fill it up. I don't use it for anything. I don't put it back in my pocket. And it would make more sense to round.
And you're supposed to buy Powerball tickets with that change.
Is that what it is?
That's what I should do that. I could, yeah. Maybe I could become a billionaire.
Yeah.
And they'll pay you pennies.
There we go.
That's
Yeah.
one.
If you get the $1 billion, I want you to buy me that software.
Yeah.
I will gladly do that, Bill.
Oh, and how about my Swiss, my Scotch Castle too, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
You can have one room dedicated to doing video restoration.
Well, it had, I think they said 20 bedrooms, 14 public rooms, but only, I think, 6 or 8 bathrooms. So I don't know. People come out visitor, gonna have to share.
You know, back to the penny for a second, relative to would they bring them back? The other thing to consider is this: when you do your taxes every year, does the IRS care about the pennies? You round up or down to the nearest dollar, so they don't even care about the nickels, dimes, and quarters and 50-cent pieces. It's the nearest dollar because it's not worth the effort. It means so little in the long run, because when you find if you've ever done that where you just round up and down and wonder how much are they getting ahead or am I getting ahead, you find out it's almost dead zero. You know, it might be $1, big deal.
Well, you get kids who have to do 1040 EZs. They may do to the penny because they don't make that much, or they have to.
No,
pay
what I'm
minimum
saying
amount.
for when you do your taxes for the IRS, they don't care about the pennies. They
Right.
would prefer you to round up or down to the nearest dollar. In other words, if it's 49 cents or lower, you go down to the dollar before. If it's 51 cents or higher, you go to the dollar above. And if you do that, you'll find that it evens out in the end of the run, especially when you get into the percentages of the tax that you're paying. That makes that amount even smaller.
So when you use tax software, it's tax software automatically rounded up or down for you.
Yes, exactly.
The same thing could be said for the nickel too. Costs way more to make than it's worth.
That's what they're saying about getting rid of nickels now.
Well, what's in a nickel? It's not, it's
Nickel.
Nickel.
No, it's not all
I don't know. I don't know.
Nickel, is it pure nickel though?
I don't know, but they might cost more to make too.
Yeah, they cost way more.
Yeah, they do.
It's like 24 cents.
Brock,
That's
I've
why
found
your
out,
quarters
though,
are sandwich
The
coins.
IRS has different rules or different things. I made a mistake on my taxes and I overpaid, and they sent me a check, and they didn't round up to the nearest dollar. They put pennies on the check.
Well,
of course.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Didn't Canada
Canada
get? I'm sorry. Didn't Canada get rid of their penny several years ago? Thought they did.
I don't know.
I know they got rid of dollar bills years ago.
Oh, the loon, yeah. They've got a $2
Now you
coin.
see stores who won't even take cash anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a letter from the IRS, and the mail lady says, "Oh, I hope this is okay." I go, "Oh crap, it's the IRS. You know, what did I do wrong now?" Open it up, and it's a check. And I said, "Well, okay." That
yeah,
was
but it's the amount you actually made an error by. And if you'd used pennies, maybe that's why they carried it over. I mean, if you weren't rounding off, because if there's an error discovered either in what they calculated or you calculated and it's in your favor, you only get that money back that you paid more. You don't get any interest on it. Where if you make a mistake and you underpay and you don't find it for 5 years, you got 5 years of interest that you're going to pay on that money that you owed them on top of.
Brock?
Yeah.
I had that problem with my mother, may she rest in peace. After she passed away, turns out she didn't pay taxes on her commissions that she was making in insurance.
Oh.
And on the estate, we were doing all the paperwork. We get a letter from the IRS, and one thing led to another. But the last letter from the IRS, I'll never forget, because this was 1985 that we finally closed the estate. To save you trouble, we've taken the liberty of contacting the New York State Department of Finance on this error. So you'll be hearing from them shortly.
That was
like,
funny.
oh, no, we'd already dealt with New York.
To save you the trouble. How nice.
Yeah, save us trouble. And I think I may still have that one letter because her estate was a nightmare for a year and a half, as I remember. I was 23. We had just gotten married, and my mother passed away 5 weeks after we got married. And then 3 months later, we're sitting in the lawyer's office going over our will, and the lawyer says, "It's going to be a nightmare. Your mother did things we told her not to do, and she did it." Okay, fine. And we dealt with that, like I said, for a year and a half. And he sends us the final check of the estate and my brother's living on the West Coast, and I get the check first. And 2 days later, I get another check saying that some more funds had come in. Oh, great. So I cashed the second check. He says, cancel the first check. It was already cashed.
Oh.
And my brother, his check bounced, of course. And now he's screaming mad at me. And I go, hell, I didn't know. I'm sending you the money. I'm sending you a check. But oh, what that caused, that nightmare of 16, 18 months of my mother with the IRS, New York State, and the never-ending paperwork. Oh, I can imagine what it's like now.
Oh,
it was crazy.
Don't make it any easier. Well, I'm gonna go take put my glasses off so I can drive without them now, and I'm gonna go out to lunch. So
have an enjoyable lunch, sir.
Okay.
So
Great show today, Bill.
Hope folks enjoyed some of the stuff there today. We did get to see our weekly quota of nuns.
Yeah.
So
I was curious if you all saw Frank Gehry died yesterday. That was
Yeah, I
Saw
saw
that.
that.
yeah.
monumental.
I wasn't a giant fan of his work, so you know.
Yeah, some of those buildings look a little weird.
Yeah.
Like the Swan and Dolphin.
Oh God. Yeah.
Those are awful.
Oh, they absolutely. I mean, it's a blind building. It's just like a giant swan on the top of it. You know. Then
Eisner liked him though, I think.
Eisner loved him. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's the Disney building, you know, that he did there on the, you know, at the main headquarters. You know, you look up at those dwarfs and they look evil looking down at you because it's a weird angle. You never look at them that way. You're looking up, you know, imagine it's like almost like when you put a flashlight under your face at night and it gives it that weird evil look. That's what you're kind of looking at when you're looking up at them like that. It's like, what were they thinking?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
nice.
now I'll never look at those the same.
Yeah. Oh, Carol and I are going back to Disney. I guess it's on Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll have to go and look up Dopey's nose and let you know how it goes.
Right. Bye.
Ask him what the nose.
Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Bill. I'm glad your eyes are healing up.
Great.
See
Thank
you
you
later.
much.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.